Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make these bagels at home, homemade bagels, which turn out to be cheaper than the ones you could buy in the store. So when you do the math, you could get about 40 bagels out of a 5 pound bag of flour that will cost you about $2.12 maybe $3, than paying $4 to $5 for just 6 bagels, okay? These bagels turn out soft and they have that chew and bite, but they're soft on the inside. All right, to get started, you're going to need 1 cup and 1/4 cup of warm water and 2 tablespoons of sugar. Mix this around until the sugar dissolves, and you're going to add in 1 packet of quick active dry yeast. You can get these at Aldi's, you can get this at Walmart, and after about 10 minutes it should puff up like this. It should look foamy. That's when you know it's ready. Give it a stir, and then you're going to add in your flour. You're going to need 3.5 cups of flour, and you're going to add 1 teaspoon of table salt to the flour, so fine salt, okay, so that it can, disperse or mix in well. So once you have your flour in your bowl, just mix it in really well. You don't want the salt to be in one place. I'm a little rusty with the voiceovers, so yeah. I'm sorry, forgot to put on my camera, but once you have your flour mixed, you're going to start adding in a 1/2 cup at a time into your mixer or into your bowl. You can do this by hand. You can also use a wood spoon to mix the flour. You do not need a mixer to do this, but it will make it a bit easier and faster. So 1/2 cup of flour at a time into the yeast, water, sugar mixture. And that's it. So if you didn't catch the recipe, you're going to need 1 cup and 1/4 cup of warm water, 2 tablespoons of white sugar, 1 yeast packet. Mix that together. Let that sit for 10 to 15 minutes till it foams up. Flour, you're going to need 3.5 cups of flour, all-purpose flour, and 1 teaspoon of salt, fine salt, okay? And then mix it together. Once you have everything combined, you're going to let your dough sit for about 1 hour, all right? You know your dough is ready to come out of the mixer once it starts pulling away from the sides and the sides start to get clean. So you'll see right now it's starting to pull away from the sides and everything is coming together. Once you see this, you can put your dough ball on a board, knead it just for a little bit, and then spray your bowl that you use to mix it with a bit of non-stick cooking spray. You can use olive oil cooking spray because oil is expensive now. So just use a bit of the non-stick cooking spray in the bowl to keep the dough from sticking, because you're going to put the dough back in that same bowl to rise for 1 hour. So as you guys could see right here, I put it on the cutting board, and I'm just going to shape it into a smooth dough ball, okay? So I'm kind of folding it inward to itself so that the other side is smooth, and that's going to be the top part. And like I said, use some non-stick cooking spray. I'm using a olive oil non-stick cooking spray to spray on the inside of the bowl. You're going to put your dough in there. Use a bit of wax paper or foil or plastic wrap. Cover it with that, and then cover it with either a bowl or a flour cloth. I used wax paper. And then you're just going to put it aside for 1 hour. It's going to rise, it's going to double or triple in size, and that's when it will be ready, okay? So once your dough has risen like this, you're going to flour your board, put your dough on the board, and we're going to divide this into 8 equal sections. So 3.5 cups of flour makes 8 bagels. And just so you know, if I didn't mention it already, a 5-pound bag of flour has 18 cups of flour. A 5-pound bag of flour has 18 cups of flour in it. So if you do the math, you could see that you'll get a whole lot of bagels out of one single bag of flour that's 5 pounds, rather than just buying 6 bagels for $5. Okay? So once you have it nice and smooth like this, you're going to create kind of like a rectangle shape almost. It doesn't have to be perfect, just so long as the dough is equal all over. And then you're going to use a knife, a butter knife, anything that you have that can cut the dough. and you're going to section it off into 8 pieces. And you can like prepare to make these for the next day if you want to. You just don't want the dough to proof for too long, you know. You can do that, but you know, you would have to kind of combine the dough again. So just so you know, I would just mix the dry ingredients, and then in the morning mix the wet ingredients, and then just add the dry ingredients and get ready, do what I have to do, you know, mix the dough. It usually takes about what, 30 45 minutes to get ready. That'll give the dough enough time to rise, you know. And if you have enough time left, you can section them off. You can actually put this in the freezer, the dough in the freezer. When you come home, you can bake them when you come home and finish off. Okay, so now you have your 8 pieces, and what we're going to do is get the smooth side and kind of tuck it into itself on the bottom like this, so we have a smooth top. And the smooth top is going to be the top of your bagel. That's the part that's going to look presentable and pretty. So you see, this is where I cut, and then this is the smooth part. So you're going to just tuck it into itself and make like a dumpling shape almost. All right, do not press too hard on to the dough. Just make it into a little fat dumpling like that. And I'm going to show you guys again here. Just fold it into itself on the bottom. If it's a little sticky, you could put a little flour on your hand, keep it from sticking to your hand. And that's it. It's, you know, it's not really hard to do. I know there's other people who make bagels and they make it a little complicated when they do this step. They want you to roll it and twist it and all this. I'm not doing all of that. So just make the thick dumpling type shape. And then once you have your shapes together, you're going to use your thumb and press down into the center of your dough. And that's what you're going to use to make your bagel hole, and then just pull it just gently to kind of stretch it open, okay? All right, you guys. So as you can see, it's super simple to make these, okay? If you want to make them ahead of time, you can do the dough ahead of time, put it in the fridge, take it out, let it rise up, and then, you know, make your bagel shapes. Or you can make the shapes, put them in the fridge, finish it off when you come home. Just make sure they get down to room temperature and rise again. And then you're going to have to do the water bath poaching, okay? Well, not water bath, poaching. So here, after I make the bagels, we're going to cover them with a bit of wax paper and the cloth. Let it rise for 10 to 15 minutes. While it's doing that, you prepare your water. It will take about 10 to 15 minutes for the water to boil. Add about a teaspoon of salt in the water. So as the water is starting to boil or getting ready to boil, your donuts are going to rise again. It is very important that you let this happen, unless you like, you know, more firm, dense bagels. I keep calling them donuts, bagels. But yeah, if you let them rise for the 10 to 15 minutes, they'll get nice and poofy, and they won't be as firm. I like bagels that are a little bit softer on the inside instead of dense and hard, okay? So you're going to poach them for about 30 seconds on each side. Once the water starts to boil, like a roaring boil, you start counting 30 seconds. Once you hit 30 seconds, turn them over, give the other side 30 seconds. Have your cookie sheets or your baking pan prepared with parchment paper, and you're going to need a slotted spoon or something to take them out of the boiling water. Let the excess water drip off of them, and then you're going to put them in your prepared pan with parchment paper. Make sure you also have your oven on at 425 degrees Fahrenheit, okay? So while you're doing this and while the water was boiling, you should have had your oven on. I should have told you that, but make sure you preheat your oven so it's already ready for you. All right, but you can put it on now, because after this step of poaching them, you're going to have to put them in the pan with the parchment paper. You're going to have to put your toppings on there if you want toppings. You can do whatever toppings you like. All right, so since we turned them over, remember the pretty side was turned over. So when we put them back on the parchment paper, the pretty side is on top and the part that you tucked in is on the bottom. So when they bake, that tucked in part is going to smooth out. So like I was saying, you can put whatever you want on your bagel. It's totally your choice. I'm doing cheese. My kids like cheese, and I tried different cheeses. Different cheeses give you different results. This cheese was a mixture of cheddar and Italian and Parmesan blend. It gave a really nice, like crispy texture to the bagel. I really like that. If you don't want the crispy texture, you can use just straight shredded cheddar cheese, and that will give you more of a melty, ooey gooey look. Okay, you can also use everything bagel seasoning, or you can just do a simple egg wash, which is 1 egg and about a tablespoon or 2 of water. Mix it together and then just brush it on the bagel. All right. I also did a combination of cheese and everything bagel seasoning, and that turned out really well. So remember, your oven should have been preheated. You're going to bake these for about 20 to 25 minutes, depending on your oven. I have a convection oven. Different ovens have different baking ranges. So, bake until golden brown like this. So this is the bottom, this is the top. And as you guys could see, they get a really pretty color. They're kind of bready, kind of in the middle, but still firm and dense and give you that bagel, that traditional, well, not traditional. This is like more of a soft bagel feel, and it has that chewy bite. So the poaching process gives you that chew that comes with a bagel. So this is just a bagel I started trying. And I also wanted to show you different cheeses. So this is a mixture of yellow cheddar and white cheddar. And then this is just everything bagel seasoning again on its own. And I wanted to show you how this turns out with the white cheddar and yellow cheddar. So you see, different cheese gives you different results on the bagels. So yeah, enjoy. Top them with whatever you like. And if you make the recipe, make sure you tag me. Let me know how it turned out. And I'll see you soon in another video. Bye, guys.